Hi everyone, it's just a chat with Bumi Alabi once again. How have you been doing? And how has been your week so far? Well, mine has been amazing, super amazing, and I've been trusting God for everything. That's sooner or later the things we are trusting God for is going to really fall in place. And that's what I do whenever I come here to just give you that word of hope, that word of encouragement. I want to be an ambassador for hope that things are going to be better, than whatsoever you are going through, whatsoever seems to be hard or difficult, whatsoever you've been trying for a long time to achieve, or what is bothering you, it's making you to just feel overwhelmed, feel tired, feel discouraged. I want you to trust God. Just commit it into God's hand. Just say, God, help me. Just a simple prayer like that can even give you a light to know the way about, or to give you peace of mind concerning whatever is bothering your mind. I believe that helps somebody watching this today. So, how have you been? Well, today I have a special guest in the house today. He's going to join me on this platform. Please join me as I welcome Mr. Pastor David, the one and only impeccable. Good to have you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's a privilege. Thank you for every time we call on you.
Well done for what you're doing.
Yeah, I really appreciate you. So, how's everything going?
God is helping us.
Yeah. How's impeccable going? Impeccable
printing. Taking his
impeccable.
own
Not impeccable. Avalon printing, right?
Yes.
Or is it impeccable?
Avalon
impeccable printing. Logistic, traveling agency, everything, print, branding, real estate.
Yeah. We are trying our best.
Yeah, he's a pastor. In case you don't know, he's a pastor. He's a man of God. He's a pastor. He's a businessman. He's a business guru, and he's a marriage therapist too, a marriage counselor. Good to have you once again.
Thank you so much once again.
Yes. Without wasting much of our time, there's something that I would love you to. It's going to be a series, but I want you to just give us a foundational platform on this, and it's going to be a very broad topic actually, but I think I want us to look at it from the marriage perspective, the family setting perspective, and it has been something that has caused a lot of issues in homes, and people are not really getting over it, and it keeps coming every time. And it comes from this question: is it right for a father to secretly do DNA tests for his children? Secretly, that means without the consent of the wife. Is it right?
Yeah, we're going to ask, thank you so much once again for having me. We're going to have a question, an answer to that question. It will come with different tentacles.
Okay.
When I can't just say right, and I can also just say it's wrong.
Okay.
There are many things they carry. I would learn to look at it from the angle of anything that makes you to do such a thing in a secret, then there's a fundamental problem.
Yeah.
Why do you want to do something in a secret that your partner is not aware of? That means there is a problem of lack of trust.
Yeah.
There's a problem of lack of communications. Maybe a trace of infidelity has been setting in the past. Maybe the person has done something like that. So maybe he has forgiven him, and somehow, I don't know, and people are advising, a whole lot of things around it. But whatever it is that make a woman or a man to do that, there's a fundamental problem that has to be addressed. So even though he do that fundamental issue, if it is not addressed, is still there. So because I pick my kids to go and do DNA tests, it's a product of some information at my disposal, or product of something that has happened in the past. I heard someone who the family or friend have been telling him, your wife is cheating on you, and he doesn't even take it serious. It can't be my wife, and this time around he needed to just find a way to unravel that truth. And this time he didn't just unravel the truth. By that incident, he has gone to do DNA tests. Now he has a proof that, truly these children are not my children by virtue of what the DNA result shows. That means all the things that my friend are telling me is true. So you can see the two marrying together. Something leads to let me go and do. Something leads to so that means it's a fundamental problem.
Sorry for cutting you before we go. So why did they have to break the trust? you know, because he has built that trust with the wife that my wife cannot do it. So that means the trust wasn't 100% there. You understand?
Yeah.
So why would he just have a kind of distrust for his wife to the extent of now going to do the DNA secretly?
Okay, I think it's very from individual to individual. Let me give an example. If someone comes to you and show you proof that you see your spouse with another woman and the pictures and video, everything to you, either you are angel, there is no way it will not ring in your bell. That my wife has, you understand that my spouse is already doing something wrong. That's no human nature. Now, to now boil down to, okay, I will let go in spite of this, another subject. And that vary from individual. I can't impose it on people. However, the place of trust is something that has to be earned or that has to be built over time. And once it's broken, when once trust is broken, it's taking a whole lot of effort to build it back. And so if I am hearing it, I didn't give a listening here to it, and I am now seeing proof of it, maybe by virtue of text message in my wife's phone or my spy, it could be man to woman, whichever. I now see text message, I'm seeing conversation that is, I'm coming, I want to go. And you're not, humanly, you are thinking, why is my wife doing like this? Doesn't do that before. Before you know, it's connecting with what your friend told you. Before you know, it's connecting with what your parents are telling you. You want to take actions. You want to, and that's just the thing.
So now the action that should be taken, now having heard things from people, do you now think going out to do DNA secretly would have been the best, or calling the wife and talk about it? Do you understand? You know, there's a place of, okay, trying to seek, okay, this thing should have been something we talk about. We've seen some cases, okay, let's even take DNA out of it. Maybe you just heard that, okay, somebody says, okay, my partner is cheating and the likes, and the next thing I just do is to just believe that, oh, they said he's cheating. And I have two options. Either I go and confront him, or I suck. I now look for how to be revengeful, or I address it, or I just let it slide, or I don't believe what they say. So how do you think such can be addressed when people say something about your spouse and the next action to do, is it to just withdraw and take a decision, a revengeful decision? We've seen some people that say, okay, two can play the game, I can go and cheat, or you ignore it and say it's not possible, and you don't try. They say if you don't look for something, you won't find anything. Or you just go and confront the person, confronting in a way that maybe you have already believed inside of you, and you just go and challenge, or you ask questions. So how do you think such a person can address?
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting question. And for viewers who are watching, I'm sure this can be an education platform for them to learn what to do. So I would go straight that it is not advisable to be revengeful.
Okay.
Because what are you trying to achieve? What you say you want to do? Because what you want to accuse your partner of is exactly what you want to do. Why don't you talk about it? The best way is to have a conversation and at least hear the person out. Let me give an example. Before I got married, somebody told me that he saw my wife in Ibadan with another man. And he's coming from a family circle. And I said, no, it cannot be my fiancé. It's not my fiancé. You know what? I get to know later that because he doesn't want me to marry her. From another cousin. This is from my senior cousins. Younger cousin telling me what his senior cousin said. And because I trusted. So there's a need for you to do a conversation. There's a need for you to say, okay, let me find out from this person. But you see, an average man, even if he's a man, they want to have something to hold on to before they can do that conversation.
And a woman too.
No, I'm coming to woman. They are looking at something they want to hold on, because I'm talking about DNA. That's why I mentioned something they hold on to before they can say, for you to confront your spouse, whether a man or a woman, with infidelity, what's it called, a word or whatever, accusations, it must be very verifiable enough.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not doing that. What proof do you have? You mean you don't trust me? Why you don't trust me? So that means I don't have something to. So they want to have something in their hand to lay hold on as a proof. So most times it's what leads to them to go and do those kind of a test they want to, but it's not always advisable to say, I want to revenge. He's doing me too, I want to pepper him back.
Okay, but let me come. Do you agree that if he had gone to ask the wife, that maybe find a way to ask him, or maybe, there are times that you wait for your wife to confess to you that, okay, I made this mistake. but there are sometimes that the partner will never confess. The partner
They want to cover it up.
They want to cover it up.
True.
You understand? And there are ways that maybe the partner might give the other partner an element of doubt, maybe waiting for him or her to open up. You know, we talk about, okay, relationship is about the two of you opening up about your mistake.
Yeah.
And because you think that, okay, my husband doesn't know, there's no need to say it. Since he didn't know, since she didn't know, why should let's move on, let's cover it up.
True.
But in a situation whereby the partner already knows, if it's a situation whereby the partner already knows that this person is cheating and he still play along. If I saw a video that somebody posted and the husband knew that, okay, the wife is cheating, and instead of him to react, in fact, I think the husband saw the wife. So when the wife got home, the husband got home, the wife was already figuring that, what will my husband do? But the husband just prepared the meal for the wife. And it was, I think I've heard the story of a man to the woman, but this one is for the woman to the man. And so the man was just being caring, and the wife was just afraid. Why is this person doing like this? You understand? When, you know, there are some men feeling guilty. So, you know, said, he was now looking at, what is happening? I don't know what this guy can do. You understand? So I think after a while, he just had to just tell the man that, I think I don't deserve you. That with the way you are doing, you saw me with another man and you are still not mad with me. The man now said, I saw that it's like I was lacking in some area that I didn't do.
Yeah.
You understand? And I saw that I've been married to a wonderful and amazing person that I ignored. I overlooked her strength. I overlooked things that the ability she has. And, you know, after that, the wife just broke down in tears and she was just apologizing and they made up. But you see situation whereby the partner will never talk. As what he would do would be saying, in fact, you don't even know what he could do. And the wife too feel like, okay, he didn't see me. Because there's only. So in a situation where you are expecting the partner to confess and he's not confessing, and you already know the truth, or maybe you've heard, but you are just looking for, okay, I just want you to be open to me. So in that situation, do you still expect the person to still cover it up or to just challenge that person that I know you did this to me? Will that build that trust again? Or you feel like, okay, since you didn't confess, you try to cover it up, then let it be?
Yeah, let me first of all lay this foundation. Every cheating has a foundations of a vacuum that is missing that you want to meet up. It could be a financial vacuum, it could be emotional vacuum, it could be, many other things.
Yeah.
And from the example you give, it is quite very interesting to see that man does that. I've seen a woman's version, but I'm hearing that man's version now. And to a large extent, the woman realized that, I think I am the one here to work on myself.
Yeah.
That is what that move will give back to. But because we are different personality, we have different people with different view, some men can't take it. The same with some women can't take it.
Yeah.
They will react on the spot. They will tell you no. In fact, they will tear your clothes in the public. They do a lot of things. But it's important for us to understand the foundation. Any man that have his wife going outside to do something, there is a fundamental problem. And if that is not addressed, even though you give him, as somebody who gave money and say, what is it that I'm not giving you? What is it? I just gave you 5 million last week, but he's still cheating outside. There is something that is not meeting. If you think you can cover that one up, it can be with you. You know that person that is emotionally attached to outside, they will go and meet the person. So it is wisdom for us to address it and talk about it. And so that step that man took is very, very touching to me to see, yes, I think I'm the one at fault. I'm not recognizing that this is a woman of strength and I'm exposing her. There's something possibly I'm also doing that I stopped doing that make this man to be sold out like this. Let me add but how many men can,
and that is what I want. So
can really take that position?
That's what I want to say, because how many typical men, as average men, can really accept that? Because we always see, I think there's a video that I think I showed you where the man went to do the DNA test, and the next thing he did, he just flare up. And but when the table flips to the other side, they expect that, okay, if maybe the man has a child outside and they expect the woman to forgive, accept the child. But when it comes to the man hardly forgive infidelity. Do you accept that? Do you agree to that?
Man hardly forgive.
They hardly forgive infidelity. I'll be right back. Let's go to the street to hear what the people are saying on the street about this issue of DNA and the likes.
Doesn't matter. So kí lẹ feel ṣé ẹ feel pé ó dàbí àwọn ọkùnrin tó ṣe ń kọ́ àwọn ọmọ lọ ṣe DNA test lẹ́yìn láì sọ fún ìyàwó.
Ó dáa náà kò dá ọkọ yẹn lójú ló jẹ́ kó kó àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ lọ láti lọ ṣe DNA test so ọkàn yẹn lè fi true lórí àwọn ọmọ yẹn pé òun ló lọ́mọ.
tó bá later find out pé òun kọ́ lòun lọ àwọn ọmọ kí lẹ feel ipò yẹ kó ṣe bí yín sí mo gbọ́ sí lẹ́rìí kan tẹ́ pé bàbá yẹn is 78 ló dẹ̀ find ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá find at 78 pé gbogbo àwọn ọmọ òun pátá ọmọ mẹ́rin pátá òun kọ́ lòun ni wọ́n àwọn ọmọ tán dáadáa rẹ̀ ń sọ yìí wọ́n ti bímọ wọ́n ti lọ́mọ mọ́.
Bàbá yẹn ò lọ́kàn mọ́ o iṣẹ́ inú ẹ̀ kú ni lẹ́yìn kó gbà kámú kó gbà fọ́lọ́run because àwọn ọmọ tó ti ń tọ́jú bọ̀ láti kékeré okay ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ lọ kó fún another person pé òun ló lọ́mọ ni ó máa gba kámú ni iṣẹ́ inú ẹ̀ kú ni fún bó ṣe wà yẹn kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe because bàbá tó fẹ́ lọ bímọ míì sí i tó bá dẹ̀ lọ bímọ míì wọn lè dàgbà tó àwọn ọmọ yẹn ní stage yẹn mọ́ so èyí tó bá lọ bí gan kí làṣà láti bó fẹ́ jèrè wọn ó yára gba kámú kó máa jèrè àwọn yẹn lọ jẹ́jẹ́.
tó ẹ ṣe gan-an. ìyàwó kó kọ́ àwọn ọmọ lọ ṣe DNA test do you think it's good.
Wo wasting of money gbogbo wọ̀nyẹn 3 million naira 4 million wọ́n fi ṣe DNA gbé lọ́sọ̀ ayé lára kàn fa mi sí lára kàn gbé sílẹ̀ èyí lọ́ọ́ fẹ́ fi ra ẹran èyí lọ́ọ́ fi ra ẹ̀dìyẹ wọ́n fàájà bọ́ ayé lára ọgbẹ́ni wọ́n bá ti gbélé kalẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn tó bá yẹ pé o tó ní mi mo lọ́mọ ayé lára o jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ tẹ́gbẹ́ mi mo lọ́mọ jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ tẹ́gbẹ́ nǹkan ló lọ́mọ ni tó bá lọ pé òun ló lọ́mọ ayé lára fọ́ mi sí lára ni lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ní 14 days ó ti lọ DNA wọn máa fi wéṣẹ̀ wọn lórí DNA.
kí ló máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sọ́mọ.
ọmọ
tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan lẹ̀ lọ́mọ kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sọ́mọ.
Definitely òun náà àti kẹ́rí ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ yìí ìyá ìyàwó òun ti máa àti mọ̀ so òun ló máa lọ gbọ́mọ fún ọlọ́mọ simple and short ṣìkìnà.
sẹ́yìn o tẹ wọ ẹgbẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ waste owó dára kẹlẹ́ máa jẹ
3 million 4 million for what ayélujára wà ń bẹ ògbólàkàyé wà ń bẹ òṣùmọ̀lẹ̀ wà ń bẹ ọlọ́fi Easter judgment if I should be the president of Nigeria kò sí Bible kò sí Quran ọkàn àwọn kìíní Easter judgment ni.
Wow.
That is all. That's my opinion for you.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome back. Wow, that's amazing. Can you see different stroke for different things? You understand? You know, but you know, back to what I asked that. Do you know men hardly forgive infidelity? Because it will be what men can do and they feel like, oh, they go scot-free. If a woman tries it, especially in African, that woman is gone. Do you understand? But you know, let's go back to the issue of DNA. Now, going out, you know, you have been hearing a lot of things about your partner cheating, doing this and the like, and you're not sick because your mind is, you know, imagine a child that you have, you know, this one is even different from the one that maybe at the airport they did, maybe in the hospital where the child is sick and say they needed blood transfusion and they realized that the father's DNA is, you understand, or the one at the airport that they were traveling and the father discovered that all the 3 children, they were not his. And you know, we've heard different cases like that, but this one, he has been hearing the rumor that, okay, your wife is not faithful, your wife is this and that. And instead of her to confront the partner, to kill his curiosity, because I know immediately he notices that, or maybe they tell him that, I know he will start to study the children. Hey, no wonder this one is doing like a bastard. He doesn't look like me. See the way he's there. That's why he's not looking at the men around you. That I think he looks like his nose look like that of my driver. You know, you begin so now kill that cure that your curiosity. You now go secretly to go and do the DNA. So should that have been the next thing, or you could confront your partner and you ask her, like, this is what I hear. How true is it? But do you know that there are 2 things? It's either the wife openly confess or she denies. Do you agree?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so what would have been the best?
The thing is that if at the end of the day you go and do DNA test and the DNA cell reveal that the 2 children are your children, will you go and tell your wife that I went to go do the DNA test? So you are a true wife. I trust you now. Will you do that? Of course not. It is that curiosity you mentioned, and I want to satisfy my curiosity of what people are saying. Let me be sure. An average man want to do that. But the truth of the matter is that, you know, society, there's a way society has framed our mind. In everything we do, marriage, money, anything, education, there's a way the study has framed our mind, and we tend to believe that this is how to do it. And we will know that we're able to follow society, not really the real condition of what we are doing. This is because this is the way people are doing it. Let me also do it that way. Or possibly friends advise you, let me also follow the trend of the friend. But the reality is that if you confront or ask your spouse about it, on the level of infidelity, how many women will truly open up? Let me give you an example. After 25 years of marriage, this one, they are Nigerian but based in US or UK. And this woman said, the woman said, there's something I want to tell you. Oh, hi. I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. You know, I have 2 kids outside. I have not told you over a period of time. And then I think I have to tell you now. I'm so sorry. The husband say, oh. The wife now said, there's something too I want to tell you. Please don't be offended. So what is it? Because he has heard his own side now. You know, the second and the third born of our children, they are not your children. The man shook. What are you saying? Or you just told me now your own.
So that's why I say men, they can't take some things they do.
That's society I'm talking about. You just told me your own, and I will say, oh no. Is it because now that I say me too, I have my own? You now want to say, no. Why will you do that? For you know how much I spend taking care of your children? So they are not my children. I was like, calm down. So the children you have been taking care of using our 2-hand money because we are both working together. You are taking of them. I'm not aware. Now they are raising us up. Tomorrow they will come and say, I have inheritance. It's the same thing. So that's how it forms. I confront you. Can you accept the reality of I want to let go of forgive? That is the fear of so many men and women. If I confront him or her and he confess, can I go on with it? Okay, in case you want to deny, let me have something I can have as a proof. Let me go and do it. Because I don't have anything, if I confront, he can deny it. But if I have a proof, how somebody who have videos of his wife doing something or his husband doing something, and it's always, there's one I watch now, and he was at the boot of the man. He went out, and then he has said before, he picked a lady outside, and the woman was at the boot, was camera and do everything. And by the time he now park, he told the lady in the car to stay, and they want to get something. So why the lady not get down? That's his side chick get down from the car. This woman came into the front and drove the car. So the side chick was shouting, "How will the car move?" What? She drove the car home. She called the buyer, and she sold the car. Wow. And the man was saying, something has happened. Oh, they stole my car. He said, This thief, they are very wonderful. They stole your car. So the call is long story short. The man that want to buy came, and then was like, "But that is my car." No, it's the armed robber that took it now. No. He said, okay, no problem. Let me show you a video. So that is not me. Okay, if it's not you, the man you are seeing in the video is the man I sold the car. It's not you. And the man took the car and he left. So if I confront him, will he be able to say, yes, I did it, please forgive me? Or will that still continue? So you see curiosity of, let me go and do something that will get a proof.
And the truth is, a thief, whether male or female, there's nobody that would want to, it's rare for you to see someone that would willingly want to say, I want to come and openly confess, whether male or female.
Yeah.
And whether male or female, I think maybe females still have the tendency to accept when they are being caught than male. Do you agree to that?
Do you
because
have a...
I don't have a statistic, but male, we all have ego, right? But male always believe that, okay, I can maneuver things, I can find a way to cover it. Okay, my wife, it might not really take things easy with me. So a man will still try as much as possible to cover things up or to say, there are some people who are really very, very good. I know women too, some women do that. In fact, when you hear some things on women hide, some things they do, because sometimes you just look at my gender and say, why would you have a child for someone else for years and you will still be professing love and the man will still be taking responsibility and you can't even say it. But the truth is, if that woman should open up and confess, will the man forgive?
Let me say it works for my place.
You understand what I'm saying? So will the man forgive? So and in our society, we always want, if a man does the same thing, we always tell the woman that let it go. Men are polygamous in nature. Do you understand? And the fact that no man will want to come and openly confess and say, my dear, I'm cheating on you. If a man is not caught, he will never open up and say, I'm doing this.
Yes, I quite agree to an extent what you're saying.
Okay.
The society frame mind, women, they have a way of stay there is your stuff,
Yeah.
but men they can't. But the reality is this, for better understanding, either you are a male or you're female and you cheat. Cheating is cheating. All right, so it's just like stealing. You steal from your father, you steal from government, you are a thief. So the act of stealing is what makes you a thief. So it's cheating that we are talking about. Either it's a man that cheats or it's a woman that cheats. Cheating is what is cheating. You are break a trust. You understand? So that acceptance of, or that place of accepting that I've done something is the society mindset. You will see a man that even want to brag, and so are you sure that is the world is doing it? They brag. So you think it's only you I will have? Some men does it, but does that make it right? No. It's not right. You are supposed to stay faithful to your spouse.
And take responsibility.
Take responsibility. If for any reason you walk out and do anything, you're able to open up. The best person you should open up to, if not that your wife or your spouse is somebody you have a problem before that, if you tell them now, the whole thing, the whole world will hear, I will not have any place again as security in the house. He will use it against me. Your spouse should be the first person to confess to.
So in that situation, the wife or the husband will use it again. So do you now advise the person to now keep it to himself or to face the consequences?
It's wisdom. Once there is a secret, once there is a, what's it called, an open confession between you and your father, that's God.
Okay.
And you know that if you tell your spouse, it can use it against you. God have a way. It's wisdom for you to avoid such. It's not bad. Honestly speaking, it's not bad, because at the end of the day, what you want to achieve, you are still in it, because you will see use against you. We're talking, and then your security is not met in the place. Why do you want to? The first thing is, David says, only you alone have I sinned against. And if you know that your spouse is that kind of person that once you tell him or her, you are not everything you want to, that's last week you did this, that's last year you did this, you realize that it's wisdom for you to keep it and then move on with your God and sort it out. And that's just wisdom.
So that reminds me of a story, briefly before we finish, a story of a man who confessed to the wife that he cheated. And maybe he cheated, or maybe the child that was living with them was his son, and the child came in as a niece. So the wife didn't really say, okay, it's okay, I have forgiven you. Do you understand? And I think they went on with their lives, only for the wife to poison the husband with a slow poison.
Wow.
Till he was on his deathbed. I heard the story. So he was on the deathbed, and she had to tell him that is the consequence of your infidelity. You know, this one is, even though he confessed, but the wife did not forgive. But he pretended, but he believes that, she has forgiven me and the likes, and they were still living like husband and wife, not knowing that the wife never forgave, but again, she gave him a slow poison on his deathbed when they were. So that is the consequence of infidelity.
That was a very wrong thing to do.
Yeah,
able to accept your spouse.
Yeah, you know, and
up to you.
So I think it's in the area of who cancel us when we get into it. Everybody have different ways of reacting to issues. You can't say the way you're going to react to some things until it happens to you.
Yes, true.
Do you understand?
True.
And I think that's where the wisdom of God is. And I know, this. I said this is going to lead us to something. I don't know. Maybe you've heard of this chimera twin. We're talking about DNA. That
Yes.
maybe like you could be a twin now. Maybe you have swallowed your twin brother in the womb when you were in the womb, and as you heard, you might be carrying 2 DNA. So, for instance, maybe they realize that maybe one of your child is carrying a DNA that is not your own, and you begin to wonder that what happened now? And you know that you trust your wife. There's no infidelity, nothing, and the DNA is not my own. And an average man will have a kind of, what is happening? That trust will be broken. And the wife will be crying that I'm innocent, I didn't do anything. But you will be saying, this is a different, it's not my DNA. So scientifically it has been proven as in that there's something called chimera twin in a situation whereby a twin swallow up the other twin in the womb. And swallowing up that twin, you are carrying your own DNA and the DNA of your twin inside of you. And in that situation, your own child might carry either your DNA or the DNA of your twin. So in that situation, that one is a very rare case.
Yeah, very rare case. And scientifically, they are the ones who educating us, telling us to pure mind. So such person should, you are so sure of yourself that nobody comes in. It's only your husband. Go ahead. nurture the, or help him to do the, let's go and do this. If you are doubting me, let's go and do the DNA.
Wow.
And then you can know where we fall at the end of the day. So if they now discover, you should be able to accept that it's a level of trust for you to open up to.
Thank you very much, Pastor David. Thank you, sir, for
It's
this
nice
insight.
to be here.
Well, 1 minute, just give us one word in cases of, we talk about trust, forgiveness, healing, and moving on. So what do you have to say to couples who are going through certain issues of distrust in their relationship?
Truly, there is no way you have issues in a marriage. But the way you manage it, the way you handle it, is the wisdom that I want to talk about. Your spouse possibly might hurt you. Your spouse possibly might have done something that is out of your expectations. Have a heart of forgiveness. And then when you ask for that and you forgive, let it be true, let it be total. Don't try to remind him or her of the things you have done before. And that will go a long way for him or her to be secure in the next or any other things that happen. And for maintaining relationship, it is wisdom. Stay put with your spouse. Be committed, be contented. Don't let any other thing. You always have somebody that is better than your wife in structure, your spouse, your husband in structure, the way you communicate. But you have to make a commitment. And I'll make a commitment to this, and I'm going to stay with him. That will save us from all the calamities we are hearing. Stay committed to your spouse and be faithful with him or her. It will save us.
Thank you very much. I love that part that you talk about, be forgiving. And there's something I want to add with that. For if your partner forgives you, and maybe there's a complaint or there's something you've been talking about concerning the other partner, I think forgiveness, accepting with a change of character, of attitude. You can't be a cheat and maybe you've done something, you have a baby outside, or your children are not yours, and you still continue with that same attitude. When your partner gives you, when there's a series of distrust in you, for you to get that forgiveness might be difficult. But if your partner asks for forgiveness and you're able to forgive and you are ready to work on yourself, make your marriage work together, because marriage is a teamwork where the two of you are ready to be committed, like what we say, two people make marriage work. So if one person is trying to make it work and the other person is trying to pull it down or just feeling it doesn't matter, this is who I am, I can't change, then the end might not really be okay. But make it your duty that you want to make it work at all costs, and you want to, you are ready to compromise on something. You are really flexible to compromise on some things that didn't really work first. Everybody can make mistakes. It could be you tomorrow that is making the mistake. So we should have the heart to forgive, to let go, and to stay true to ourselves. Thank you very much, Pastor David. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you. This insightful teaching, and I believe it has really blessed someone. If this really pass the message to you, please drop a comment, like this video, share it with somebody that needs to hear about this Chimera twin. Are you a Chimera twin? Pastor David, go and find out. Are you a Chimera twin? Till I come your way again next week for another insightful topic on Just a Chat. It's me, Bumi Alabi, saying have an amazing week, and don't forget to subscribe. Click that subscription button now. See you. Bye.